This is Astro Geeks TV, and this is Karina Dean bringing you the Jupiter transit in Scorpio from October 2017 to November 2018 for the sign of Scorpio. This will be especially important for those who are Scorpio rising. If you are a Scorpio rising, this video is for you. And then to a secondary extent, if you have any planets in Scorpio, this video is also for you, specifically the moon and the sun. So if you have your personal planets in Scorpio, definitely consider this, but then also check out the video that speaks to your rising sign. Now let's begin. In this interpretation, I will be speaking in terms of how Jupiter relates to the rest of the zodiac, as Jupiter will be making a trine to Neptune in Pisces, and Jupiter will be making some challenging squares to the North Node and South Node in 2018, at the beginning of 2018. And for Scorpio, this has a lot to do with where your challenges will be and what is your story about. In this reading, I will also pull from my new deck that I am loving and learning, and this is the Triple Goddess Tarot deck. And I have already pulled the card for Scorpio, so we will complete the video with a divine goddess for you to channel and use for this entire year. Let's begin. Okay, so Jupiter is the planet of wisdom. Jupiter is the guru. And Jupiter is the expansion of higher knowledge, of higher self, philosophical ideas, seeing the objective picture more than the subjective picture. So with Jupiter being in your sign, Scorpio, this year is the year in which you are being shined down upon by the cosmos for your very long journey and new phase that you are now beginning. This is the beginning of your 12-year phase, a brand new clean start for you when it comes to your opportunities. And Jupiter signifies that you have a lot of wisdom to share and give with others about transformation, going from one state to another state, helping people to deal with their psychological traumas, helping people in the time of crisis. People will be coming to you, looking to you for your wisdom, for you have gained so much over the past few years, especially from 2012 when Saturn was in your sign, wreaking complete havoc all over Scorpio. And now this is a time where everything that you have learned in these lessons with Saturn and Scorpio are now blessing you, and Jupiter is coming and filling your cup with knowledge, abundance, and opportunity. The story has to do with your childhood. And for many, this is very true, but for you, Scorpio, it rings very much so in divine cosmic order, that the experiences that you had as a child are focused specifically on those in which you felt very abandoned. Those times where you felt like maybe you were under obligation from somebody else's resources, and you felt maybe confined to your own expression due to the fact that you were obligated to share or be under somebody else's care, and almost had some sort of contract in which you are not completely free because you are attached to whomever was giving you or providing for you. And this could be in many different ways, but a lot of Scorpios may experience it through the parental figures, but it could be through somebody else, but it was an experience in which you felt powerless. So this has a lot to do with abandonment. And Jupiter brings out the story of resurrection through the preserved child, the inner child, for the child that can still create and be amazing right, in this life is the child that survived and maintained the youthfulness, the beautiful curiosity to the world as a child would have. And this preservation within you is what is the revival of your personality and is what is coming out for you. The preservation of your child. And this can ring through photos and pictures and some sort of memory keepsake of your childhood, or this could also be children as well, being around children and being reminded of that inner child that is still preserved within you. This is what is going to help enlighten you to become the creative being that you are. And as well as if you are in business and needing your career to launch off this year, in which you have much opportunity to do so. The creativity is where you will gain so much confidence in your abilities to make something very unique and very helpful to the world due to what it is that you had experienced. You are truly the wounded healer this year as you come out of your ashes and revive yourself again, bringing forth a brand new you time and time again, but this time with a lot more confidence than ever before. Your sign has to do with sexuality, and on many ways, you will be the image, right? The icon, the pedestal that is put on when it comes to true, authentic sexuality. We do not have time for games with this kind of energy, but we do have lots of time for joy and fun and pleasures. So this is a time where your relationships, very much so even short-term relationships, will gain so much for you to experience joy and fun with, being comfortable with the fact that you will have some people that will stay and some people that will go, but every single person that you come across this year will be a significator of you being challenged to see your utmost joy. This is your story. Your story is to be like a kid again, who experiences the world with these brand new eyes. And the world can experience you as well with brand new eyes. Everyone is watching you, Scorpio. So it's very important to use this year to launch anything that you want to for yourself. Share your story with the world, your unique story with the world. Now, the North Node and South Node are the significators of why it is that you are projecting yourself out of the home and the security of the comfort of home and out of the cave and into the light, into the spotlight, as the North Node in Leo ignites your house of career. This is your reputation at hold here, and people are wanting to know what you have to say about the rules and regulations. They are curious to know what you have to say about what your authority is over them. Yes, Scorpio, people want to be in a dominant and submissive role with you this year because that is your sign, and people are willing to bow and to follow you this year. But don't take it for granted. This is important to understand, that your calling is all about what you have learned, and the reason that you have this ability to lead this year is due to the fact that you have gone through so much. So be sure not to abuse this brand new power that is being given to you and that you will certainly go after. Now, also keep in mind that if you have something very dramatic, something that you want to share with the world, if you want to become an actress, if you want to be a filmmaker, if you want to just work with children and, create a brand new business anything that has to do with the sign of Leo. This is what governs over your career house, and it is being ignited by the North Node, challenging Jupiter in your sign. So this has to do with the overabundance of career opportunities due to your willful effort to materialize them. And you will have to decide what direction you want to go into. Okay, Scorpio, from the Triple Goddess Tarot that I am now using to help add more depth to my readings, I have pulled for you the card that is the 13, and it is the Passage. This card has everything to do with change. And the divine goddess that represents this card in the Triple Goddess Tarot is the Black Madonna, better known as the female Jesus, Isis, and the concept of change. The two goddesses in this card represent birth and death. And just as you have before, you will be called upon to work your magic in eliminating the flesh and being brought down to the bones and skeletal structure, the truth of who you are. You are being called to go through a very immense transformation this year, just like you always have. This is something that you specialize in, and this year will be the ultimate transformation. This is a brand new phase for you, dear Scorpio. So you have to show them what you got. There is no other sign that represents facing the fears of death like yours. What is it that is challenging you right now when it comes to death? What is it that is coming up for you in these challenges? What is coming up for you? Go there, because you have the capability of being very powerful goddess this year, beloved Scorpio. I'm so happy for you and everyone that falls under the strong energies of this sign, for I know that you have seen the worst of it all, but now you can become the best of it all. So this is the Jupiter in Scorpio transit for beloved Scorpio rising and personal planets and generational planets in Scorpio. If